Hello, let me welcome you for the video lecture series. In this particular lecture series, let us discuss about the interest factors, that is various types of interest that you have and the interest factors, and how to calculate the simple interest and the compound interest that we will discuss here in this particular topic. So let us know about the interest and the interest factors. So in the word interest has come from the Latin word the interestis, meaning that compensation to the loss. That is, if a person is getting loss for lending his money or lending his property or lending his product, the compensation that he is going to get for lending something or giving something is what is called as interest in a common word. If a person lent his money, he is in loss. The compensation to the loss is through the payment of interest. To avoid the controversial view of interest, that means if you say interest, it looks awkward or it looks the controversial view or controversial this one. So hence the modern economists have expressed this in terms of the productivity or in terms of saving or in terms of liquidity of cash or the money, and they have also expressed with respect to the various other forums like the supply and demand or liquidity of the money or the savings of the money or the various terms has been given in that. But in large, it is called as an interest, or it is an earning that is that we get because of lending some money or because of giving something to the others. The interest, sometimes known as the cost of money, which doesn't belong to you, but you have used it for whatever the money or whatever the things that you have used for, which doesn't belong to you, is known as the interest that you are giving. Types of interest, it is broadly classified into two types, that is simple interest and the compound interest. Let us see the simple interest. Simple interest is calculated on the principal amount, that is the original loan amount that is being given or the actual amount which is being given. That is examples like the loans such as the interest loan or the auto loans or the education loans or the mortgages that you do it. Okay, they'll be calculating the simple interest. The formula which is used for the simple interest is capital I is equal to P into I into N, that is PIN. N is small, sometimes some books they call it as small n and some books they call it as a capital N. Further this one we will use it as a small n itself, that is the number of period, where capital I is the interest earned and capital P is the principal amount, small I is the rate of interest normally calculated per year, okay, and the capital N or the small n is the time period for which the interest is being calculated. Okay, the compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit, or in other words, interest on interest is called as the compound interest. Examples like the bank peoples, when they are giving the interest for your deposits which you have kept in the bank, is a compound interest, or the credit card payments, that is the delayed in the credit card payments, will be calculated the compound interest. The formula for the compound interest is F is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of N, where N is in years, like 12 months or 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, like number of time periods that is being calculated the compound interest. Let us discuss this compound interest and simple interest in detail in the further slides. Now let us see the simple interest calculation, how the simple interest comes and how to calculate the simple interest. So a person is lending the money. So you can see that person is lending a money here, and in return what he is going to get with respect to the simple interest, that is what we are calculating here, where the formula is I is equal to P into I into N will be used, where the rate of interest, that is I is the rate of interest, that is we call it as RI, that is return on investment, or ROI, return on interest, whatever we get it. It is normally expressed in 4%, 6%, 8%, 10%, 12%, 15%, like percentage we will be expressing it. The time period is expressed in years or months or days, that is capital N or small n. Okay, the principal amount on which the interest is calculated is P, that is the initial amount or the amount for which the interest is being lended. Okay, the type of interest calculated is a linear type. Let us take up some examples and see how exactly the simple interest is being calculated. If you invest rupees 3000 at 5% for 1 year, how much will you earn after 1 year? Use simple interest. This is a very straightforward problem or the example that you have. Okay, where I is equal to P into I into N, where P is 3000 and I is 5%, that is 0.05, and N is for 1 year. That is interest that you will be earning will be 150 rupees after 1 year. What is the total amount that has been earned after 1 year? Is you have earned 150 rupees per year. Further, the amount you have earned per year is F of A, that is the future amount for the A period, is equal to P plus I, that is the principal amount plus the interest rate. Or it can also be expressed as P plus PIN, or P you can take the common factor outside, 1 plus IN also you can keep it. Hence it is 3000 plus 150. 3150 you will be earning after 1 year. That is the future amount after 1 year will be 3150. Let us see the next example. So in the next example it is states that what sum must be loaned at 8% simple interest to earn rupees 350 in 4 years. That means he has given the I year as 8%, he has given N year as 4 years, and he has also given the how much you are going to earn, that is I he has given 350, and he is asking you to calculate what is the loan amount, that is what is the P, principal amount. P is equal to what? I is given as 8% and capital I, that is the amount that is going to earn is 350, or the interest we are earning is 350, and N is equal to 4. Therefore I is equal to PIN. If you simplify, that is take the P this side and IN that side, and you will get I divided by small I into N. So 350 divided by 0.08 into 4 will give you the principal amount as 1093.75. That means if you lend 1093 rupees 75 paisa at an interest rate of 8%, you will get the amount as 350 as the interest that you will be earning. Right? Now let us see the how long will it take any sum to triple itself at 5% simple interest rate. That means a sum is being kept maybe around 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. For an example, we can take it as 100 rupees. 100 rupees if I keep it, how much time it will take for it to get it 300, that is 3 times, with a interest rate of 5%. That is what he is asking you to calculate in this particular example, where I he has given it as 5% per annum, 5% per annum, and P is equal to, assume it as a 100 rupees, and I is 300 rupees, that is it will become 300 rupees. Then what is the time period N that has to be calculated? Therefore I is equal to P into I into N, that you have to calculate. You have to calculate how much is the N. So keeping N here, if I shift the P into I this side, that is I divided by P into I, that is I is 300 divided by P is 100 into I is 0.05. If you calculate, you get around 15 years. Please do calculate this by yourself. Next, let us do the compound interest. Let us see about the compound interest calculation, how the compound interest will be calculated, and what the compound interest means. Okay, to understand the compound interest scheme, the interest earned in each period is calculated based on the total amount, that is the entire amount that is being calculated at the end of previous period. This total amount includes the original principal plus the accumulated interest that has been left in the account. To find the future sum F with given present single sum, we calculate it as the principal sum P at 0 time will grow to an future amount at the end of 1 year is as follows, that is P is the principal amount plus PI, that is principal amount, into interest rate. P into 1 plus I is the amount that we are earning at the end of 0th time. Okay, at the end of second year, okay, what you will be earning, that is P into 1 plus I and plus IP into 1 plus I, that is again it is a principal amount into the interest rate plus 1 plus I, that is the second year, that what we are earning, that you will be getting it as P into, that is principal amount into 1 plus I to the power of 2. Similarly for the third year, you will get P into 1 plus I to the power of 3. Similarly at the end of nth year, the future amount that you are going to get is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of N, that is N is number of time period that you have, or it can also be expressed as P bar F into 1 plus I to the power of N. 1 plus I to the power of N is called the single payment compound amount factor, and the function is denoted as, okay, the notation which is being given as F bar P comma I comma N is a notation we call it as for the compound interest. Now let us see the two types of calculation that we come across with the compound interest. That is the first one is to find the future sum given the P, that is principal amount. The formula which we will be using is 1 plus I to the power of N. That is, we call that as single payment compound amount factor. The functional notation that we use is equal to F bar P comma I comma N. And for the second one, that is second calculation that we do is to find the principal amount, okay, by having the future sum. That is future sum he has given. That means for the 5 years down the line I need 1 lakh rupees. What is the amount that I have to keep it in the bank today? That is the present amount that we have to keep it in the bank. The formula which will be used is 1 divided by 1 plus I to the power of N, that is single payment present worth factor that we will be calculating. The notation that we will be using is F bar P comma I comma N is the notation that we use here. Let us see the example here. Suppose you deposit 1000 rupees in a bank, okay, thus in a savings account, at that pays an interest rate of 8% per year. Assume that you don't withdraw the interest earned at the end of each period or each year, but instead let it accumulate in the bank itself. How much would you have earned at the end of year 3, that is with the compound interest. What is the given data? That P has been given as 1000 and I is equal to 8% and N is equal to 3 years. That is the formula which we will be using is, what we have to calculate is the future amount. F is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of N. F is equal to 1000 into 1 plus 0.08 to the power of 3. Therefore, F is equal to 1259.71 rupees that we will be earning after 3 years of time period. Let us see each one of the steps, that is the 3 years what we are going to earn with the 1000 rupees. Okay, simple calculation that we will be giving here. The amount at the beginning of the interest period is 1000 rupees that we have kept. The interest earned for the period of 1 year is 80 rupees. That will be added to the principal amount. That means 1080 rupees had happened. That 1080 rupees is the beginning period, or the amount which at the beginning of the interest period. The interest which will be earning for 1080 rupees will be 86.4 rupees, and that will be added to the 1080 rupees. It will become 1166 rupees 0.40. That will be the amount towards the end of the second year. That will be the initial payment, or the initial amount for the year 3. For the interest rate for that particular year, for the third year, will be 93.31, and if you add up to the initial amount, the amount which you will be having at the end of the year 3 will be 1259.71. This is the amount that you will be having, right? We'll go to the next example. Accumulate a principal of ₹1000 for 5 years, 9 months at a normal rate of 12% compounded monthly. How much interest is earned? The principal amount is ₹1000 and N, that is the number of time period, is 5 years 9 months. So since he has given it in months, we have converted the 5 years 9 months into total months, that is 69 months or 69 interest periods that we will be earning. And I is 12% per year he has given, but that has to be converted into a month, that is 1% every month, because since the N is in months here, interest also has to be calculated in months. So what is the total future amount for the 69 months? That has to be calculated. The future amount for the 69 month is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of N. The principal amount is same, that is ₹1000, and 1 plus I is this amount. Be careful here, because normally this is where the students will make a mistake in the examination. Since he has given the N in months, here also the interest period also should be converted into months here, 0.01 to the power of 69. The future amount for the 69th month will be 1986 rupees 90 paisa that you will be having, right? Let us go to the next example. The next example is the example says that suppose rupees 10,000 is borrowed now at 15% interest per annum. A partial repayment of 3,000 rupees is made for 4 years from now. What amount will be remain to be paid today? The 4 options he has given, that is 7,000 rupees, 8,050 rupees, 13,000 rupees, or 14,490 rupees. So what is the amount that has to be paid now with respect to the amount? What is the given that you have? F of 4, that is the 4th year he is asking. So F of 4 is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of 4. The P is given, that is 10,000 rupees, into 1 plus I is 15.15 to the power of 4. So it is 17,490 rupees is the money that we are going to get after 4 years. but he has already paid 3000 rupees less. So 17,490 rupees minus 3000 rupees, 14,490 rupees he is supposed to pay. And the right answer is D, that he has been given. Let us see one more example. An investor has an option to purchase a tract of land that will be worth of 10,000 rupees in 6 years. If the value of land increases at 8% each year, how much the investor would be willing to pay now for this property? That means if 8% is the interest rate that is being increased, the land amount, so he is paying 10,000 rupees per square centimeter or per square feet or something like that. Okay, what is the property value now, what he will be paying now with respect to that? So the future amount that he has for the land is 10,000 rupees, and N is 6 years down the line, I is equal to 8%. What is the present amount? So P is equal to F into 1 divided by 1 plus I to the power of N is the formula that we will be using here, because we are calculating the present worth of the future amount. The future amount is 10,000 rupees, okay, in 6 years down the line. And what is the present amount? The interest rate earned is 8%. Okay, so the present amount will be 6,302 rupees will be the present amount. That is, right now the worth of that particular 10,000 rupees which you are going to earn after 6 years with an interest rate of 8%, the present value of that money is 6,302 rupees, which you have here. Fine. Difference between the simple and compound interest. So we will see the difference between the simple and the compound interest. Most probably you might be knowing it now. By this time you have understood, but again we will see that simple interest, how it has been calculated. Here I have taken the 8 years, that is 8 years period of time. What is the principal amount? Principal amount is 100 rupees. Very simple to calculate. At a 10% per annum, you will get 10 rupees every year. That is total 100 rupees. Towards the end of the 10th year, you will be having a 80 rupees interest that you will be getting. But if you take the compound interest, so for an amount of 100 rupees that you have invested today, so for 8 years down the line, what will be the amount that you will be earning? Will be much more than simple interest, that is 114.15. Sorry, 114.5 you will be earning. How will you be earning? Every year if you calculate the interest period, so it will be, for a first year it is 10 rupees, for second year it will be added to the principal amount 110 rupees, for the interest rate will be 11 rupees, that will be added to the principal amount, 121 will be the principal amount, and for that principal amount the interest earned will be 12.1 rupees, that is 12 rupees 10 paisa, that will be added to the principal amount. Like this, if you add up till the end of 8th year, the total amount of interest that you have earned will be 114.5 as against 80 rupees in a simple interest. Okay, so the earning will be more in a compound interest when compared to the simple interest, right? Let us see the cash flow diagram, because this is one of the most important thing that you should understand with respect to the interest rate. So without understanding the cash flow diagram, it will be difficult for you to analyze the problem perfectly. Okay, with the cash flow diagram, the analyst can visualize the cash flow at various time period graphically, that is a representation of the cash flow. Here the horizontal line which you can see is the time period that has been given, and it is the 0th year, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, like that till the nth year. The horizontal time period is being given here, and the cash flow diagram will represent whether the cash is incoming or it is outgoing. If the arrow mark is towards the downward, it is an outgoing. That means you are lending the money to somebody, or from your pocket it is going to the outsider. If it is an arrow mark upward, then it shows that it is an income for you. That means it is a income which is coming to you. See, on the 4th year there is a, once again there is an downward, that means the amount is going out, and in the final year, that is nth year, there is an upward arrow mark, that means the amount is coming back to you. So this gives you the clear idea that what is the transaction of money, how the cash flow is taking place over a period of time. As you can see here, in the 0th year there is an outward disbursement, and in the first year there is no cashward, that neither the money is coming in nor the money is going out, and the second year the money is coming in, and in the third year no transaction, in the 4th year money is going out, and in the final year, that is nth year, the money is gaining, that is coming inside to the organization or individual person. Okay, the horizontal line is the time scale that you have. It progresses from left to right, and where there is an nth time period, 1 2 3 4 5, like that, nth number of time periods that you will be having. The arrow signifies the cash flow, the down arrow signifies the disbursement or cash outflow, and upward arrow indicates the receipts or the cash inflow or the benefit to the organization or individual person. This is very important. This cash flow diagram has to be written for all the problems from now onwards, so that you can able to analyze the problem easily. Okay. So let us see the personal loans and the EMI cash, EMI payment calculation, how the EMI will be calculated. Okay, the formula that I have given you here, and let us see that formula later on. So the equal monthly installment, that is EMI, consists of a principal portion of the loan and the interest rate. That means the principal amount plus the interest rate that you are going to, that is earned for that particular time period, will be the EMI that we will be paying, that is equated monthly installment. It is necessary to calculate the EMI before applying for the personal loan. It helps you to know an exact EMI amount that you will pay for the disbursed loan amount. If you have taken a loan amount, what is the EMI that you will be paying? That has to be calculated. The EMI per month can be calculated online by using a personal loan interest calculator, because every personal loan interest calculator will be there, where you will be feeding the amount that you have taken, the number of time period and the interest rate. That automatically will calculate. There is a calculator for that once, but anyway, there is a formula also which is being given here, and let us see that. Once we select the disbursed loan amount, that is what is the P, the principal amount that is being given, and the repayment tenure, that is the time period, along with the interest rate, that is the percentage of interest, then the total, then the tool will suggest the exact interest rate amount payable. It will be total interest rate amount payable on a required loan amount over a time period, over a tenure. Okay. The formula which is being given for that, E, that is the installment amount or EMI that has to be paid, is equal to P into R into 1 plus R to the power of N divided by 1 plus R to the power of N minus 1. R is the rate of interest, N is the time period, and small r is the rate of interest, and P is the principal amount or the loan amount which is being paid. Let us see an EMI calculator software, how exactly it looks like. Okay, this is the EMI software that has been calculated. Here the principal amount which has been fed, that is here fed it as 1 lakh rupees, and number of months to pay, that is how many months you will pay, that is 12 months. The rate of interest, that is 10.75% is the rate of interest that is charging, and the loan amount, the date when it is going to start, and the EMI amount, how much he has to pay, 8,826.51 will be the EMI amount that he has to pay. The loan amount end date, that is 2/7/13, that means 1 year exactly from that time, that is 12 months it will be calculating. So how exactly it shows the calculation I have shown you here on the first month, that is you are starting on 2/7 and 3/7. Okay, that is from the month of 7/3. The opening balance will be 1 lakh rupees and the principal amount will be 7,930 rupees. 0.68 paisa will be the principal amount. The interest amount will be 895.83. That is 895 rupees 83 paisa that he will be paying. So if you add up these two things, that is the principal amount and the if you add up the principal amount and the interest rate, that comes to around 88, that is 8,826.51. that is the EMI that he has to pay. You can see that over a period of 8 months, I have given the calculation here. I have shown the calculation. If you can see that the principal amount keeps on increasing, the interest rate keeps on decreasing over a period of time. That means the principal amount that initially you pay will be lesser. The interest that you pay will be more. As the time period progresses, the principal amount that you pay will increase, the interest will decrease. Okay, the closing amount, this is the closing amount at the end of that particular year. At the end of 5th year, it will be 59,629 rupees you are supposed to pay. That is the due. That will be brought over to the opening balance here. And again, the principal amount and the interest you will be paying towards the end of that particular month, and your amount will reduce. Okay, this is a software calculator. A screenshot has been shown here for you for your understanding purpose. Every bank, they have their own software calculator, so they will be calculating. Slightly differs here and there, but all the parameters will be the same what is being shown here in this particular screen for you. Thank you. With this, we have covered the interest and its factors, and the simple interest and the compound interest for your understanding. Thank you very much.